Hi, welcome to our mobility class. Today it's the turn for the hips. And I love working on hip mobility. It feels amazing. There's a lot of tension that we accumulate in our hips. So working on hip mobility really gets in very deep into the hip area. And it brings an overall wonderful feeling of relief to the whole body. So for today's class, we will need mostly just an open floor space, but I do want to do today some myofascial release with the tennis ball. So bring your tennis ball or lacrosse ball, also helps. If you don't have one, maybe skip that part and definitely get one. Get a ball because there's so much we can do for self-massaging with one of these balls. So highly recommend getting a tennis or lacrosse ball. It should be part of your self-care kit. And I use it a lot in these mobility classes for the shoulders, for the feet. So I basically use the ball for moving the fascia and self-massaging every part of the body. And yeah, I haven't introduced myself. My name is Tamara, and I am here with the University of California, Davis and the Live Well department. So today's class is going to be pretty good, pretty deep and intense. There'll be, you'll be called in to put in some effort for sure. And also you'll be rewarded with some deep stretching of this whole hip and thigh area. So let's get started. And I'm going to play us some music today. I'm in a big dance room. There's lots of echo, but I thought that maybe we could do a little music. That should be nice. So hopefully the music works out. We'll see. Is it working? Not sure yet. All right, maybe we won't have music, but let's get started. Oh yeah, music isn't working. Okay, so no music. Let's get started laying on our backs, and let's take a moment to just settle in, relax, and kind of set the tone for the work that we're going to do next. All right, I also have a yoga block nearby, but you may or may not need it. It's nice to have it nearby because at any moment the yoga block gives you a little bit more space and helps you to lengthen the spine. So it's there. It's good to have it, better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So just go ahead and lay on your back for a moment with your knees bent, feet wide as your mat. Let your knees knock in and bring your hands to your belly. Close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths here. Just allowing yourself to settle in. Relax and let go. Take another deep breath. Exhale through your mouth. And open your arms wide out to the sides. Make sure that your shoulders are down away from the ears and that your spine is in contact with the floor. And keeping your feet where they are, so wide as the mat, start to bring your knees down to the floor, side to side. And let's move with the breath. So as you bring the knees down to one side, take a deep breath. Look and reach to the opposite side. Exhale, bring it back to center. Inhale, reach to the opposite side. Exhale, back to center. Let's do a few more. Let's go once more to each side. Come back to center, bring your knees into your chest, give yourself a little squeeze. And take the knees wide, rock side to side. All right, and reach for the pinky side of your feet for happy baby. So my arms go in front of the shins and reach for the pinky side. Press the ball of the big foot of the big toe up. And let your spine rest down into the floor. As you allow the knees to sink in a little bit deeper, a little bit closer towards your armpits or the floor. See if you can take a few deep breaths here. And with the exhale, allow everything to sink in. So you're letting go, softening, and releasing. And go ahead and release the feet. Bring the feet together, knees apart. And bring your arms up overhead, creating a diamond shape with the arms and the legs. Take a few deep breaths here, allowing the shoulders and the hips to drop and sink in. And release. Hug your knees back into your chest and roll over to your side and come up to seated. Bring your hands to the floor behind you. Open the chest. And bring the feet to the floor, wide as your mat. So just as wide as we were before when we were laying on our spine. And similarly, rotate your hips to bring the knees down to the floor. And don't change the place where the feet are. So the feet stay exactly where they are on the edge of the mat. And rotate the knees and let the hip lift up as much as you need to so that the knee that's going towards the center can reach the floor. And ideally, the knee that comes in towards the center is matching the arch of the other foot. They're coming very close to each other as the knee comes down. All right, and next time that the knees come to the right, press the shins down, keep the knees down on the floor, press down into the right arm, lift the hips, and lift the left arm. Exhale, release, change sides. Inhale, lift the other side up. Exhale, shift, inhale, left. Keep moving with your breath. Side to side. And release the hips. Turn towards your right. Come onto the hands. Look as far as you can. Twist, twist, twist to the right. Take a deep breath. Lengthen the spine. And come down to the forearms. Deep breaths. And keep the legs where they are. So the legs have not shifted. We're only twisting, rotating the spine now. Deep breaths. And come up to your hands, and we'll go to the other side. Turn the knees to the left. Lift the hips. Lower the hips. Bring both hands to the floor and walk, walk, walk as far as you can to the left. And then bring the torso down, coming onto your forearms. And take deep breaths here. And if you'd like, you can rest your forehead on the heel of the hands and give your neck a break too. And take a deep breath, come back up to the hands and back to seated. Keep the hands on the floor behind you. Ground your feet. This time bring them hip width apart. Take a deep breath, lift the chest, shoulders back and down, and lift the hips. Exhale, bring it down. Let's do 3 more. Squeeze the glutes, push with your feet. And bring it down. Roll back onto your spine. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. Open the arms out to the sides to stabilize. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, bring it down. Let's do 3 more. And interlace your fingers behind the thigh. Squeeze it in towards your body. And now press the thigh away. Press the thigh into your hands. Extend the right leg. Deep breaths. And bend that leg. Take the ankle with your right hand and bring your legs all the way to the right. Look to your left. Deep breaths here. Good. Release the ankle, extend the bottom leg, and come up onto your forearm. So the left knee is still bent, left foot is connected to the floor, right leg extended, and spread your toes, all 10 toes spreading and feet flexed. Lean onto the forearm, open the hand, connect. Take the shoulder back and down so you're not sinking in your shoulder, but you're very actively pushing through the arm. Keep that bottom leg extended, press it into the floor, and reach up on your inhale. Exhale, bring it down. Let's do 3 more. And hold here, hold, hold, hold. Lift, 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 nice and strong, and release. Now come up onto your hand, and here I'll let you sink in to the shoulder. We want to feel a nice stretch here on the side of our waist and our hip. You can even push this knee away a little bit. Get a nice side body stretch here. All right, and release that. Come back to your spine. Hug your knees in. And now we'll take the right ankle over the left knee. Open the arms out to the sides to stay stable. Lift the hips on the inhale. Exhale, bring them down. Let's do 3 more. And interlace your fingers behind the thigh. Pull, pull, pull the thigh in. And then push it away into the hands. Extend the left leg. Spread all 10 toes. Deep breath. Bend the left knee. Take that right ankle with the left hand and bring it all the way to the left. And look to the right. Come back to center. Release that ankle, extend the bottom leg, and come up onto the left forearm. Now spreading all 10 toes, keeping this foot grounded and the other leg nice and extended, and lifting, pushing with the left shoulder. Don't let this happen, but active. Lift on the inhale, exhale, bring it down. Let's do 2 more. Hold, hold, hold. Deep breaths. Pushing down into the floor. And release. Push up to come onto your left hand, and here you can sink if you want and find a nice stretch all along your left side body. All right, and let's release. Let's come into downward dog. Pedal it out. And bring your knees down. Take your knees wide as the mat. Reach the hands to the floor behind you. Open the chest. Lean side to side to open up. Take a deep breath and lift the hips. Hold for 3 breaths. And release. Whew. Come into child's pose with your knees wide. All right, and let's slowly come up, back to downward dog. Pedal it out. Take your feet wide as your mat. Bend your knees side to side, allowing your hips to shift. And slowly start inching your way, walking your hands back towards your feet. Release your head. Keep your knees slightly bent as you roll your spine up to standing. Okay. Stand with your feet wide. Turn your toes out. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bend the knees and come low. Inhale up. Exhale, coming low. Let's do 2 more. And exhale, bring the hands down to the knees. And here I'll let you sink your shoulders up to your ears. You can let your body hang here. Keep the arms straight. So the arms are pressing straight down into the knees. And let yourself hang here a little bit. You can also shift a little bit side to side if that feels good. Take a deep breath. And exhale. Come back up. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, let's come back to that place. And now take your shoulder to the opposite knee, going side to side. inhale, come up, extend the legs. One more with the knees wide. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend the knees. And this time, we'll go side to side, keeping those knees wide and the hips low. Find a breath rhythm that works for you. Oh yeah, I'm feeling it. And come back to center, extend the legs, turn the toes forward. Keep the legs wide, and I'm going to show this in profile because it's very important that you get this right, this angle right. Turn the toes facing forward, actually slightly pigeon-toed, just a tiny bit pigeon-toed, and allow the knees to bend. Bring all 10 fingertips together in front of you, like you're holding a little sphere in your hands. Take a deep breath, and as you inhale, expand the back of the ribs, the back of the kidney area. And as you exhale, bring your belly in towards your spine and hinge the hips back. Inhale, expand the back, reach the fingers forward. Exhale, hinge the hips back a few more degrees, belly in. Keep inhaling, expanding, lengthening, and exhaling, hinging and lowering down. And keep doing so gradually until you reach the floor. Once you reach the floor, keep shifting the hips back beyond the heels, way back beyond the heels, as if you were going to fall back on your butt. But your hands clawing to the floor and stop you from falling back. And let your head rest between the arms, release the neck. Deep breaths, keep expanding the spine. And on the exhale, bring the belly in. One more big breath. And exhale. Come onto your hands and walk forward to downward dog. Bring the feet hip width apart. Pedal your feet. All right. Now let's come down to the knees and we'll sit down. Actually, no, let's do one more standing exercise that will really fire up the hips, the thighs, and the whole hip area. So let's come to standing. And you've probably done this in exercise classes. So we'll come to stand and into a deep squat. And from the squat, we'll inner rotate a knee to bring it down to the floor. Now you don't have to bring the knee all the way down to the floor. It can just hover, open, and then to the other side. And we'll go side to side. Oh yeah. Now you're gonna feel all the muscles fire up. Pretty good. So notice how I am pivoting on the ball of my foot to rotate in and bring the knee down. All right, wow, that really fired it up. I feel my legs now burning. Okay, we haven't done our hip circles. So let's get into the hip circles. All right, so standing with your feet about hip width apart, a little bit wider, and allowing the knees to bend and always be responsive. Please don't lock your knees. When you lock your knees, you lock your low back. So if you allow the knees to respond to movement, we'll be better off, I promise. Okay, hands to the hips so you can really control and feel the movement. And we're going to bring the hips forward and back. Reverse and anterior or posterior and anterior tilt. So we're tilting the angle of the hips, and it's great that we have the mirror so you can see from different angles how the hips shift, this tilt. So there's a little effort required here to really tilt the hips. Okay, and now side to side, side to side. And it does help to have your hands on the hips, to have a little bit more information of where the body is and what it's doing. If you have a mirror, it also helps to give you information on how you're moving. And you really want to feel this change in this angle. That's what we're going for. We're going for mobility and increased range of motion. And now, full circle, making sure you hit each one of those 4 directions. You might hear all sorts of crunching noises. It's good. It's good for you. And change the direction of the circle. Notice all the muscles that need to be involved in creating these angles. So it's not just the glutes, it's not just the thighs, your obliques, your abs, everything is connected. All right, good job. And to release that, loosen it up, make sure you don't have anything near you to smack. Swing your arms. Look all the way behind you. All right, make fist and start tapping your back. Fold forward, tap your low back, and tap your hips, your glutes, your thighs. Go up and down a little bit. And release. All right, now we'll come to a squat. Take your feet wide, knees out, and press the knees out with your elbows. Let your hips really relax here and sink down and deep. All right, and next, we'll come, no, let's do the ball last. So I want us to do some more intense work before we get the reward of the self-massage with the ball. So go ahead and sit down. Make a butterfly. Flap your butterfly wings. All right. So the next pose that we'll come into, and for this you could use a block to help you. We'll bring our legs in a 90-90 degree. 90-90 degree. So we're creating like a pinwheel with our legs. Now try as best as you can to get these 90-90 degrees. I know that if we are still working on improving our hip flexibility, this angle can be pretty intense. Now, if you're feeling so much intensity and you can't stay up here, you're falling over, then a recommendation is to bring a cushion or a blanket under the hip, the side that you're falling over. So right now I have my left shin forward. So let's all start with our left shin forward so that we know what we're talking about. So left thigh comes forward and the knee bends 90 degrees so that the shin goes straight across parallel to the front of the mat. Right thigh comes out at a perpendicular angle, knee bent 90 degrees and shin at also parallel to the long edge of your mat. Flex both feet, spread the toes, keep those feet very active. And so we'll reach forward with our hands and try to bring your right hand to your ankle, left hand to the knee, and extend your spine. And naturally we're going to fall a little bit to the left, so make an extra effort on the left side to lift and lengthen. Deep breath. Now see if you can reach your hands a little bit more forward beyond the shin. Take a deep breath, extend the spine. Exhale, bring your chest down towards the shin. Inhale, come up. Now let's repeat a few breaths. Keep those feet flexed and active. All right. Now you could use your block in front if you need to give yourself a little bit more space. Another option here to really get into the hip is to go hands-free. So reach and come back up by pushing the front leg into the floor. You're really going to feel it on the hip. Super intense. You can also just reach with one hand. So keep the left hand on the floor and reach with the right. The important thing is that you challenge those hip muscles. And now let's focus our attention to the right hip. So as you come forward, lift the right heel up off the ground. And it's just a tiny bit. You might get a cramp. I'm cramping. If you get a cramp, pound it out, pound it out. That's because those muscles are like, they're protesting. They're like, no way, I never do that. Well, yeah, you never do that. That's why you're tight. So we gotta wake it up. So notice how as I lean forward, I lift that back heel up. Ooh, crampy, crampy. If you get cramped, stretch it out, pound it out. Try again. All right, now lean onto the left hand, and we're gonna take the right knee up and down, up and down. And I'm rotating off the heel. Okay, now we're gonna take that right leg, kick it forward, and kick it back. Kick forward, kick it back. And just use your hands as needed to keep your balance. All right, and now pigeon. So taking that back leg all the way behind you and rolling onto the top of the leg. So the left shin is still forward, more or less parallel to the front of the mat. Inhale, extend the spine. And exhale, fold in. Come up, swing that back leg forward with your left hand, thumb down, catch the pinky side of the foot, and open the right arm back. Cross your right foot over the left knee. Lean the right hand to the floor behind you. Inhale, lift the left arm. Exhale, hook and twist. Press the right thigh down with the right thumb so both sit bones are connected to the floor. Release and turn to the other side. Left hand to the floor. Inhale, lift the hips, lift the right arm up and over. Release and come into fire log. So for fire log, ankle over knee, knee over ankle. Now this can be quite challenging for some of us. So use the help of the block or a cushion to create space. Lift and extend the spine. Flex the feet and press the hands into the feet and the feet into the hands. Extend the spine. And maybe fold forward a little bit. Release your jaw. Notice if you're tensing your jaw. And release the jaw. Slowly come up. Oh my God, release the legs, shake them out. And we're gonna go to the other side. So, pinwheel with the right shin forward. And don't be surprised if this side feels completely different to the other one, because we do have asymmetries in our body. And try to lift up, extend the spine, and remember, if you're falling over to the right too much, you can prop yourself with a blanket or a towel under the right hip. Big breaths, and allowing with the force of gravity, allowing your hips to sink in. Now reach your hands slightly in front of the knee and the ankle. Inhale, extend your spine. Exhale, fold in and follow your breath. Inhale up, exhale. Let's do 3 more. Now, if you'd like to try reaching with the left arm and pushing with the right leg to bring yourself back up. Maybe no hands. Now lifting the back foot up as you lean forward. Pretty intense, huh? All right, outer knee, left knee up and down. You can adjust your arms wherever they need to be to support you. Still want us to get into my fascial release with the ball. We're running out of time. So let's go ahead and kick back and forth. The good thing about the myofascial release is I can show you the basics, and then you can take your time and stay massaging yourself after the class is over for as long as you like. All right, kicking the leg back, coming into pigeon. Remember, you can prop your right hip up to give yourself more space for pigeon. Extend the left leg, so knee and top of the foot face down to the floor. Hips more or less square towards the front of the mat. Keep the right foot flexed to protect the knee. Inhale, extend the spine, lengthen. And exhale, fold in. And let yourself sink in here. And slowly come up, lean onto the right and swing the left leg across. Right thumb down, catch the pinky side of the foot, and push the hip down with your left thumb. Then open up the left arm back. Deep breath. And cross the right foot over. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Exhale, hook and twist. Deep breath. Exhale, shift. Right hand to the floor behind you and open up. Lift the hips. And release for the dreaded fire log. Now for some of us, remember this is very intense. So for some of us, maybe being up here with props is as far as we're gonna go, and you can lean back. You can have your hands on the floor behind and breathe deep as you allow the knees to settle down little by little. This is all about patience. You cannot push yourself fast into greater range of motion. You have to be patient. If you can reach your feet, press the feet into the hands, hands into the feet, extend the spine. Maybe lean in a little bit. Extend the spine, find space. Use the breath. Exhale to find a little bit more space. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold in. Patience, patience, and breath. Long, deep breaths. Focusing on the exhale is what allows the body to feel safe, to let go. And release the jaw. Interestingly, the hips and the jaw are connected somehow. Don't ask me how. I guess everything is connected. But definitely releasing the jaw, unclenching the jaw will help the hips to release too. And slowly come up. Oh, release the legs, shake them out. Oh my goodness. Lift the hips and turn side to side on your heels. It's a good counter pose. And because we're running out of time, I'm just going to show you the basics of the myofascial release with the tennis ball, and then you get to stay longer at home. I guess you're all at home already in your own time. So lay on your back and bring the ball under one glute. So I'm starting here with the left side, and I'm just swinging side to side, allowing my body weight to sink into the ball. And this is all about self-exploration and finding the places that feel tight, that feel juicy, and maybe spending a little bit longer in those spots. You can also bring the knee down and up. on that glute. It's pretty intense, pretty juicy, feels amazing. And keep finding different places, different spots to explore. And different movements. So don't limit yourself to what I'm showing you here. If you find something that feels good, go for it. Here I've extended the leg and I'm going to the TFL area. The tensor fascia lata is a muscle that connects to our IT band and can hold a lot of tension. So I'm keeping the rest of my body very relaxed, and as you can see, I'm just rocking on the ball, rocking back and forth, finding different spots. You can go back to rolling back and forth. You can also come up onto your forearm, just like we did earlier, where the foot is on the floor. And you can hear it rock a little bit side to side. Maybe the foot behind works better. Find what works for you. So there's the ball. And I'm rocking on the ball. And I have a pretty good tolerance for deep tissue massage. So I can put a lot of body weight here on the ball. If you are new to this and you're feeling and it's really intense for you, just slow it down. Maybe find one spot and sink in there. This position works really well to allow your body weight to sink into the TFL muscle right there. All right, and I'll show the other side real quick, just because why not? So starting on your spine, knees bent, and rocking on the glute muscles. And you want to aim for the soft tissue. You don't want to aim for the bones, but for the muscles. And really try to explore as much territory as you can. I'm sure you'll find some interesting places, some places where there's a lot of sensation. You can pause in those places. If you find an interesting spot, pause and just let everything sink in. Remember to use the breath, especially the exhale, to release and drop in. And here I am going to lowering the knee. Adjust, find different spots. Rocking and rolling the hips over. And now extending the bottom leg to get more into the TFL area. And if you can take it, come up onto the arm and rock on that ball. It's pretty intense, but it's very good. It's very healthy for your muscles and for your nervous system to release those tight spots. I'm just sinking down on that ball. It's really really intense. Little rocking here, back and forth, using my bottom foot to push off and on, back and forth, and the forearm also to rock. Whew. We're just finding a good spot and settling in. So I'll let you play more with that at home, exploring different spots in your hips and giving yourself that much needed self-massage. Thank you for following this class. My name is Tamara, and every Friday I'll be here with a new mobility class. So next week's, and we go up in order. So next week is rib cage and mid-back section. It's also pretty juicy, really good. I hope you can join me then. Thank you very much. Ciao, ciao.